What's up, everybody? Socks Way Up is back with the final installment of Socks Way Up fixes his first-ish city. Yesterday, we got it up to about 75% traffic flow, then it dipped down into the high 60s. We're letting the game run a little bit. Today, we're gonna do some finish touches on the traffic. We're looking at some of the main areas where traffic is flowing. We're gonna try to reroute some of that traffic so that it doesn't have to turn left and right and left again. We're gonna solve some of these last issues and wrap up this series. All in all, it's been a blast. I'm gonna ramble a little bit and let you just kind of watch in the background what we're doing here. I learned a lot by making this series. It's been fun. It's been challenging. Much respect for people that make fix your city videos. It takes a lot of patience. It's not necessarily my favorite part of the game, but it's definitely something nice to change things up. Taking a look at this, you build the city 3-4 years ago and you come back and look at it and you don't even really remember doing any of this stuff. And so you're attached to it less than a current city you're building. If I went into one of my current cities and started doing this and was eliminating buildings this much, I'd probably not be as excited about it. But like halfway through this, we get the traffic to about 80%, and then we start playing around with Traffic Manager mod, and I realized that I think I would have made decisions a little differently if we were using Traffic Manager mod throughout the whole thing, because some of the ticks, not ticks. They're definitely not ticks in City Skylines, except in your nature reserves, there might be some ticks. Some of the tips and tricks that you see in a lot of these videos, with using roundabouts, you can see I eliminated the main roundabout that we had. We don't have any roundabouts and we get to 80%. I take that back. I think here in a little bit we do add one roundabout to one of the areas that was a lot of problems, and those are, I don't know. I think that's a personal preference thing. I don't live in an area that has roundabouts, so I'm not a huge fan of adding them into my cities. I do know they're becoming more and more popular in the United States, and as we get used to having those, I'll probably use them more where they make sense. But yeah, I think the key is just like don't zone in main roads. Don't make too many intersections. That's the big thing that I've changed a lot in mine, and your cities will be much happier. They'll be much more enjoyable to play. But right now, we're at 72%. We got this main road here that I wanted to fix, some of these two main roads, and then at that point, I feel like the traffic is realistic to people being happy in a city. You can see we're at 58,000 again. We started, I think, at 80, but some of the eminent domain that we did, some of the, kicking people out is going to cause that traffic or that population to not be able to get all the way to 80%. It would have been nice, or not 80%, 80,000. It would have been nice to get it that high, but it wasn't necessarily the goal of this video. It was getting that traffic up and moving. You can see 77%, it kicked up to for a second. Now it's back down to 75. So there's just these smaller trouble areas, but traffic is moving. There's absolutely no gridlock in the town. At this point, it's, again, personal preference. Is this a win for you? Do you want... I switch it back and forth, that light. I don't know why I keep doing that, because it makes it worse. It makes it better. Trial and error. But like I was saying, it's personal preference. Like, I don't like having backup on the freeways. If I have backup in the inner city, that feels more realistic to me than having, gridlock on the highways. Gridlock on the highways is a real thing. When I would go to work every day, I dealt with that on the way home. And so it's, again, like, if you want your city to look real, maybe you don't care about it being 80% traffic flow or 90% traffic flow. Maybe 75 is good enough for you. And then there's also mods, the real-time mod. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it causes, traffic to come and go. And I know at one point there was a mod called Rush Hour. Maybe that's an add-on or something. I think that was a mod, but it simulated rush hour. So rush hour is a real thing. And right there you could see we were getting rid of some of our buses, because at this point buses were somewhat of an issue. But there you can see the traffic was backing up on the highway, and then it unloaded because the light changed. It looks very realistic to me. I was very satisfied with that. But there's a couple areas, again, that we did want to take care of. I'm gonna let this time lapse play out a little bit, and I'll check in on you in a few seconds. One of the things I was looking at right here was we had our freeway backed up again. We fixed the problem that caused that. But then we wanted to see, once this freeway backup goes away and the traffic gets more normal right here, I wanted to see if some of the side road traffic gets cleared up as well, as there's less traffic on the main road because of traffic flowing better. Some of that side road traffic automatically takes care of itself. Sometimes it doesn't, but we wanted to see if that was going to happen before we made changes. So a lot of this last time lapse is us kind of just watching traffic, seeing what happens. At this point, we're pretty satisfied with the city. It's, you know, it's hitting that about 80% mark. I think we're pretty good. It's definitely where I wanted to see it when we ended this series. This video is going to be a little bit shorter, but there wasn't much going on here. It was just a couple changes here and there, removing some buildings in this one, and then letting the traffic catch up. And we got to where we wanted. We could keep going until we get this even better, but it's where I wanted it. It's where I wanted this town to grow again, and that's where I'm going to leave you. Thanks for joining this series. Maybe later on next year we'll do another one like this. I learned a lot from it. I had fun. Thanks to everyone who checked out all 5 episodes. Check out my playlists. We got some cool things coming in 2021 where we're going to do some more detailed cities. But thanks for checking out or stopping in, and I'll see you on the next video. Maybe check us out on Twitch. Hit up the links in the description. There's also a Discord channel. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.